Welcome to the session of What After GATE by ExamAssure. Now, if you see roughly from 2016 onwards, the number of students who have been giving GATE exam has increased, and roughly around every year you have 9 to 10,000 students who appear for GATE architecture only. I'm talking only about architecture, right? So that if you see 9 to 10,000 is not a small figure for sure, but what is the purpose of giving GATE, or how would it be helpful? Now, some of you all told me that it's for your pursuing your master's or getting a job in some PSU. So it can be called as a gateway to a higher education and to secure your career, probably in teaching, probably in a government job. So we'll just look at it. Now, if you see for GATE, once a candidate has given GATE, you have 2-3 options. Primarily, the first one that all of you all have told me, that is going for post-graduation or master's, wherein you can opt for M.Arch, Masters in Architecture, M.Plan or M.Tech, M.Des, that is Masters in Design, from various institutes that we have in India, like IITs, NITs, SPAs, etc. And with the students who have qualified GATE will get a stipend of around 12,400 per month in case if you enroll into these universities which are affiliated with AICTE and respectively which are eligible for the stipend. Other than that, you could also pursue your PhD, or once you are done with your post-graduation, let's say you do your post-graduation in M.Plan or M.Arch or something, and then there is a government job that comes up where the requirement is that the candidate should have a master's degree or M.Plan degree in urban planning or so on and so forth. So again, your post-graduation will also help you in getting your government job, or otherwise you have like in 2017 or 18, in 2018, I guess, Airport Authority of India had some openings, and they had directly hired candidates based on their GATE score of 2018. So likewise, various PSUs also have recruitments based upon the GATE score that they consider. Also, another thing, in case if you guys have any questions, any queries, you all may please put it in the chat box, and towards the end of the session, we will address all the queries and questions. Okay. So primarily now we will look at what can be done with the post-graduation perspective and people who've given GATE. So what all are the options for us? So again, for post-graduation, there might be a few of you who have not qualified GATE, and that is absolutely okay, because without a GATE score also it is possible to pursue your masters, and with GATE scores you have a little more wider option. So with GATE score you have IITs, NITs and SPAs. Now again, in SPAs, that is the School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi, Bhopal and Vijayawada. So Delhi has direct admission process, whereas Bhopal and Vijayawada have a 50-50 outcome, wherein some seats are filled to GATE score, that is the CCMT process, whereas a few seats are filled directly through direct admission without considering the GATE score also. So those who in case have not qualified or anything, don't really get disheartened. There is still a lot of scope. And then other than that, we have various government funded institutes also, like IISc Bangalore, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing in Dehradun, or Jamia Millia Islamia College, and so on. And without GATE score, you have options like various state government colleges through the state CETs, the respective state government CETs, or you have SEPT University, Sushant School, so on and so forth. So we look at all of this in detail. So now what all stream choices do we have? So if you see the kind of courses that are offered, they can be primarily categorized into 4 degree or course names that are offered. Basically, you have M.Plan, that is Masters in Planning, M.Arch, Masters in Architecture, M.Des, that is Masters in Design, and M.Tech. So now in terms of M.Plan, it is your students from architecture or planning background, plus some from geography, etc. also can apply for this. Whereas for architecture, M.Arch, it's only architecture students, people who've done their graduation in architecture can apply for M.Arch courses primarily. M.Des, again, these criteria for M.Des varies from institute to institute. So some institutes take candidates who've also pursued fine arts as their course of graduation. Whereas for M.Tech, again, this is as well a interdisciplinary course. So you have people from architecture, people from civil engineering. In some cases, you can people who've done the graduation in planning or B.Plan can also pursue M.Tech. Now, these details vary from institute to institute. So we'll just look at that as well. Okay. So now if you see, in terms of M.Plan, what all courses do we have, or what all courses do IITs, NITs and SPAs offer? So cumulatively, now in some cases, the names are a bit different, but they mean the same. So we've just summed it up to give you a brief idea. So you have urban planning, city planning, urban and regional planning, environmental transportation planning, housing, so on in M.Plan. For M.Arch, we have urban design, landscape, conservation, and sustainable architecture primarily that are offered by your SPAs and a few NITs. Under M.Des, again, you have communication design, industrial design, retail design, information and technology integrated design, textile, apparel, lifestyle, accessory design. Now, all of these again have a lot more bifurcations. For example, your communication design will have your graphic design and so on and so forth, right? Your industrial design will consist more of product design, likewise. So this is just a brief of what the course offers or what the program has. As far as M.Tech is concerned, now cumulatively for various IITs and NITs, you have construction management or BEM, building engineering management, infrastructure management, geomatics, informatics, GIS, and remote sensing. Now the names are different in different institutes. You have IIT Kharagpur offering technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship courses as well. Then environmental management of rivers and lakes, 2-year course again. Disaster management, drinking water and sanitation management. So likewise, these courses are also available in M.Tech. Now let us just look at one by one from M.Plan to M.Tech, each course as to what they have and what are the cutoffs. So as far as urban planning is concerned, it is related to more of your city planning or a larger scale planning, wherein you have to look at the development of the city, plan accordingly, and so on. So once you are, I'm sure a few of you might have had planning as a course in your graduation level also, or maybe as a small subject. So you'll get a better idea as well once you're even doing masters. So you have IIT Kharagpur, IIT Roorkee, NIT Calicut, Jaipur, Nagpur, Surat, Manit, Bhopal, and all the 3 SPAs offering courses in urban planning. So if you see for the cutoffs, here you can see now for NIT Calicut, this is the cutoff of CCMT that was there last year. Now, as far as IITs are concerned, they sometimes do not release their cutoff, so it is difficult to guess any number. That would be more like misguiding you. So we would not be doing that. But for NITs, what is published will be discussed with you all. So here, as far as NIT Calicut is concerned, for year 2022, the CCMT cutoff was something of this sort. Here what you see, 678 is the highest one. So the person who got in the first in general category had the maximum marks. So this is the maximum and this is the lowest cutoff. So the minimum score. So this is your gate score out of 1,000. Okay. So this is the highest and this is the lowest figure. So this will give you a tentative idea. Now, of course, these cutoffs or these scores are not fixed. They will vary every year. So probably last year it was lower, this year it's higher. Or for some courses, there are some courses where it was higher last year, last year, and then last year it went lower. So that will vary accordingly. With NIT Jaipur, again, the highest range was from 690 to the lowest cutoff or the lowest minimum score required was 429. For NIT Nagpur, again, the range varied from 593 to 429. For NIT Surat, 557 to 357. And for Manet Bhopal, again, 654 to 454. So that is how it varies. As far as regional, urban and regional planning is concerned, you have NIT Patna and IIST Shibpur, which is again a government institute. So for NIT Patna, the score was somewhere between 575. So the highest was 575 and the cutoff went off to 363 in 2022. And as far as IIST Shibpur is concerned, the lowest was 393 for the general category. Now, for SPA Bhopal, if you see, under the CCMT process. Now, like I mentioned earlier, SPA Bhopal and Vijayawada have two processes. So one is the direct admission and one is through the CCMT process. So for the CCMT process, the cutoff went up to 358 for the urban and regional planning program at SPA Bhopal. And at SPA Vijayawada, it went up to 526. That was the lowest for the general category. Now, as far as regional planning is concerned, you have SPA Delhi. Now, like I mentioned earlier, SPA Delhi has more of direct admission process. So we will look at what are the categories also that they focus on for the marking system. So under the CCMT process or as far as your gate score is considered, SPA Delhi doesn't purely take admissions on the basis of your gate score. So as far as housing again is concerned, masters in housing or M.Plan, you have NIT Bhopal or Manet Bhopal, and you have SPA Delhi. So the cutoff for NIT Bhopal was somewhere around 369. The lowest minimum marks was 369. So basically this reflects this 369 reflects the last person, his score, the last person who got in under general category in the 3 rounds that they conduct. So it is the score of that person basically. Now, as far as transportation planning and engineering is concerned, now in some institutes, it's called as transportation engineering, some as transportation planning, some institutes, some NITs offer it as a M.Tech course, whereas our SPAs offer it more as a planning course. So there is variation. So you have IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, and Bhubaneswar offering courses in transportation. You have NIT Warangal, and all the three SPAs again conducting courses for transportation planning. So as far as NIT Warangal is concerned, the cutoff, the lowest cutoff was 492. And the course is called as transportation engineering. Whereas in SPA Bhopal, it is an M.Plan, transport planning and logistics management course. So if you see, the names of the courses are also different. And likewise, if you see at SPA Vijayawada, it is more of transport planning that they call. So here you can just have a look at all the cutoffs that have happened last year for the CCMT process. So this will give you a brief idea as well. And you can also analyze it with your score. As far as environmental planning is concerned, we have the three SPAs. So offering the course in planning for environmental. You have the score for SPA Bhopal was roughly 387. And for Vijayawada was 405, the lowest cutoff. Now moving on to your M.Arch. In M.Arch, okay, just a minute. Is my voice audible or is there some issue? So my voice is clearly okay. Okay. So Anand, just check at your end once. Maybe you can rejoin or reconnect because there's no issue at my end. Okay. So yeah. So now for M.Arch, you have options. We've just seen there was urban design, urban conservation, landscape, and sustainable architecture. So as far as urban design is concerned, again, you have only the three SPAs that offer the course. Now, with respect to Bhopal and Vijayawada, the scores for as much as for Bhopal that I know, these have been high last year. And again, yeah, for Vijayawada, the lowest one was 405. And if you see 733 is quite a high score if we talk for urban design as such. So that is something that you can note as well. As far as landscape again is concerned, you have the three SPAs. And now if you see, like I said, SPA Delhi has its own criteria for selection. So the qualifying degree marks, so whatever degree, whatever marks you've got at your graduation level, they will play some role. Gate score has little less weightage than your portfolio, SOP, the interview, and work experience, if any. So this is the criteria that SPA Delhi uses to enroll candidates or select candidates, which is quite different from what the other SPAs do, as well as the entire CCMT process. So SPA Delhi doesn't participate in your CCMT process. And okay, how many of you have filled the form for SPA Delhi? What was the last date?
31st March.
Correct. So 31st was the last date. And yeah, so now what you need to focus on is your interviews and your portfolios. So we will talk about that as well later. Chalo. So as far as again your Bhopal and Vijayawada SPAs are concerned, you have scores of 363 for Bhopal and 442, which is again a high score for landscape at SPA Vijayawada. Conservation, again, you have the three SPAs. So primarily, if you see M.Arch is with respect to urban design, landscape, and conservation, it is all our three SPAs that offer these courses. Whereas planning courses, you have NITs also that actively participate, but for M.Arch, it's mostly the SPAs. For conservation, the cutoff was at SPA Bhopal was 375, and at Vijayawada it was 357, the lowest one. As far as sustainability in architecture is concerned, you have three NITs, that is NIT Hamirpur, Tirchi, and Patna, and SPA Vijayawada that offer the course related to sustainability. The names are, of course, different at different levels. So NIT Tirchi, the course is Energy Efficient and Sustainable Architecture, which is one of the this course by NIT Tirchi is considered as one of the best courses in sustainable architecture that India has. So amongst the NITs as well. So if you see, the cutoff is also high that way. Whereas you have Hamirpur, NIT Hamirpur, offering the course in the name of sustainable architecture. For NIT Patna, it is M.Arch in sustainable architecture. The lowest cutoff is around 363. And you have SPA Vijayawada again offering the same. So if you all want, you all can take screenshots of this as well for your comparative analysis or understanding. So that will be helpful for you to even decide or make a decision or understand where to apply, how to apply, and so on. Then moving on to your M.Des or the design programs. Now, if you see, like I said, so M.Des, on the design is the name of the M.Des is basically the degree that you would get, but within that you have a variety of courses to learn. So you have industrial design, furniture design, product design, graphics design, so on and so forth. So you have IIT Roorkee, IIT Kanpur, IISc Bangalore that offer M.Des. You have SPA Delhi that offers it under industrial design. You have the NIDs, that is the National Institute of Design. You have it in Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, Bangalore, and so on. You have NIFTs, that is the National Institute of Fashion Technology. So all of these institutes offer M.Des courses. As per your interest and your liking, I would suggest to just go through their website for, let's say, NIDs, NIFT, and understand what are the different types that they offer as well. So that will give you a better clarity onto it. Now, as far as IIT Roorkee is concerned, they have a capacity for 20 seats with the criteria is that you need a graduate degree, wherein in any discipline is fine, but you need to have studied mathematics in your 10th and 12th. And of course, a valid seed or gate score. So that is the criteria what IIT Roorkee applies. As far as IISc Bangalore is concerned, the intake is of 18 students. And again, your seed score or your gate score is what they consider. And again, the weightage for gate or seed score will be 70%, and 30% weightage will be given to the written test that the institute conducts along with the interview. And for SPA Delhi, again, it's the seed score, or for people who are not from architecture background. Otherwise, even the gate score for people from architecture background works. And the same criteria, your degree, portfolio, interview, SOP, and so on. Now, as far as M.Tech is concerned, you have project management and construction management. Now, this course, let's call it project management, but again, all institutes have different names for that. So you have IIT Delhi, IIT Madras offering it as M.Tech courses. And as far as the NITs are concerned, you have NIT Warangal, you have NIT Surathkal and in Mysore, and NIT Surat. So if you see the cutoff for all of these institutes, the NITs that I'm talking about, The name of the course is Construction Technology and Management, and roughly around the range of 430 to 530 is what the lowest cutoff was for all these three NITs in the year 2022. Now, as far as infrastructure system is concerned, now what is this course related to is primarily the city infrastructure that we have for, let's say, uh, your transportation is also a part of infrastructure, or your networking, telecommunications, so on and so forth, water supply, sewerage, etc. So you have IIT Kharagpur, IIT Guwahati, and IIT Bombay that offer this course related to infrastructure. Now, as far as the last year, IIT Bombay had given a tentative cutoff with respect to GATE scores. So for urban systems, now earlier this course was something called as urban design something, but now they've changed it to urban systems. And the tentative cutoff was roughly around 600. And for technology and development, this is some related to your rural development as well. This course. So this course will primarily help you to, once you're done with graduation in this course, it will help you more towards government service or work in public sector rather than any private sector. So the cutoff was around 550 for this course. Now, as far as geomatics is concerned, or different, again, IITs have different names for it. You have IIT Bombay, IIT Roorkee offering course in geomatics, geoinformatics. So you have IIT Bombay calling it as Geoinformatics and Natural Resources Engineering, wherein tentatively the cutoff was around 400 based on your GATE architecture score. Now, again, building engineering and management, somewhat similar to your construction management, helps a lot more if you are planning to pursue your career in the private sector with respect to architecture industry. So you have SPA Delhi and Vijayawada offering the course. So the cutoff was around 526 at SPA Vijayawada. And yeah, SPA Delhi, again, as much as I know, BEM is one of the most sought after courses at SPA Delhi, and there's a tough competition as well for the same. Now, as far as GIS and remote sensing is concerned, you have NIT Warangal, NIT Allahabad, IIST Shibpur, and IIRS Dehradun offering this course. Now, as far as NIT Warangal is concerned, and the cutoff, if you see for this remote sensing and GIS course, is roughly around 409. Now, if you see where do you think is GIS and remote sensing will be helpful? Anybody?
Missile launching.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Missile launching.
No, how will the course help you in terms of, okay, M.Plan urban planning helps in various domains. Yes, Devashish. So if you see from the government perspective, or if you are planning to pursue a career in private sector, yes, there are a lot of opportunities. But if you have the government sector also in mind, you have ISRO that works majorly on this, and there are a lot of recruitments, just that there is a lack of awareness amongst people. But they do take people who have done masters, let's say, in urban planning or planning with GIS and remote sensing, because it's highly useful at ISRO as well. So that is one thing. Now, if you see for NIT Allahabad, the course is called as Geoinformatics. And this was the score, roughly around 357 was the lowest cutoff. At Shibpur, again, it is called as geoinformatics with a similar range as that of Allahabad for the cutoff. Now, as far as IIRS is concerned, which is again under the aegis of ISRO, so you have an M.Tech course in remote sensing and GIS and specialization in all of these fields. So you can choose as per your eligibility criteria, of course. And as students of planning or architecture, the one that is the most suitable for us is your urban and regional studies. Yuvraj Singh, please do not scribble on the screen. Thank you. So, yes, so what degree you will get is, if you go to IIRS, the degree that you get is M.Tech in remote sensing and GIS with specialization in urban and regional studies. So this is a tentative idea about the kind of courses that are offered and by which institutes offered. So we looked at it course wise. Now, of course, GIS remote sensing, you can also use it in your data analysis, big data, machine learning, and so on and so forth. There's a lot, like even one lecture will not be enough if we want to discuss it in detail. However, if y'all are interested, y'all can let us know as well. We will be more than happy to help. Now we've just seen cumulatively course wise कि कौन से courses है और कहाँ पे आपका interest है. Now what is important is for you to know where your interest lies. What we would do is just guide you that all of these parameters are there. Now just to sum it up, we look at institute-wise courses. So now if you see IITs, for example, on the basis of your GATE score, you have IIT Roorkee offering 7 to 8 courses from transportation to M.Des. Just a minute. Yeah, sorry. So you have IIT Roorkee offering courses in disaster management, urban rural planning, so on and so forth. Like we discussed, IIT Bhubaneswar in transportation engineering, IIT Bombay in urban systems, rural development, geoinformatics, IIT Delhi again construction management, transportation engineering. Now again in this construction management and IIT Delhi, you will also have people from engineering background who will be studying along with you. So likewise, so you can, if you all want to specifically focus on IIT and it does, or you have that in mind that I only want to get into an IIT, be it any course, then I think this chart or this slide would be helpful for you guys to give you a more clearer picture as to which IIT offers which courses, and hopefully you get into it. Now, as far as SPAs are concerned, you have SPA Delhi offering around 10 courses with M.Arch in conservation, urban design, landscape. You have BEM, M.Des in industrial design and planning, another 5 courses for planning. So you have environmental planning, housing, transportation, urban and regional planning. And also here is the seat matrix for the same. So this was also shared by them. As far as SPA Bhopal is concerned, you, like I mentioned earlier, you have a bifurcation of few seats through your GATE score and few through direct admission. These are the various courses for M.Arch or Masters in Architecture. You again have urban design, landscape and conservation. And planning, you have urban and regional planning, environmental planning, transportation, and Masters of Design. As far as SPA Vijayawada is concerned, you have sustainable architecture. So this is SPA Vijayawada is the only one that's offering a course in sustainable architecture, if as compared to the other two SPAs. Then you have landscape architecture, conservation, urban design, environmental planning, urban regional planning, transport, and BEM. Now, the intake last year was around 20. This year, it's been increased to 25 for all the courses or all the programs. And as far as NITs are concerned, so you have NIT Jaipur, Calicut, Surat, Nagpur, Patna, and Manet also offering courses in urban planning. Manet also offers course related to housing. As far as construction technology and management, you have these three NITs, Surathkal, Warangal, and Surat, who offer the courses. For sustainable architecture, you also have Central University of Rajasthan, NIT Hamirpur, NIT Tirchi, and NIT Patna that offer courses in sustainable architecture. So this list that I'm sharing now will help you to understand. Let's say if you are very sure that you want to go to sustainable architecture only. So this list will help you get that clarity. Do little bit of research from your end that which institute will be more helpful for you, or basically help you make a better decision. So you can just focus on these four if you are very sure that you want to do masters in sustainable architecture, for example. Now, other than that, without GATE scores, we have various other options as well. You have again SPA Bhopal, SPA Delhi, and SPA Vijayawada also in the run. You have Jamia Millia, Aligarh Muslim University, CEPT University, where again the courses are that are being offered are very innovative as well. You have Anna University in Chennai, JJ College of Architecture, COEP in Pune, or DCRUST. So these institutes, they take admission through, some of them take admission through the state conducted CET as well. So that is also helpful. Now, courses offered by CEPT University are your courses in architecture, planning, design separately, management, and technology. So these are a few of them what they offer. And without GATE scores, then on the basis of your CET, now if you see, different state governments conduct their own CET exam. So by giving that exam as well, there are these states. So basically you have Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Gujarat, who conduct CET for M.Plan and M.Arch. And also through this, you can get admission into the various courses that institutes in these states offer. Now, as far as your GATE or masters is concerned, we've covered more or less most of it. Now, as far as your PhD is concerned, for PhD, you have various options wherein you again have your IITs. So you have IIT Kharagpur, you have IIT Roorkee, you have IIT Guwahati, and so on and so forth. You have your SPAs, all the three SPAs that also offer PhD courses or as per your liking. PhD in architecture or planning depends. You have NITs as well, the ones that we discussed previously. A few of them do offer courses as well, like NIT Jaipur and so on, PhD courses. Other than that, now, how many is there anybody who has just done their graduation and is very sure that wants to go into teaching only? Is there somebody with that much clarity? Do we have anyone? Okay. So if you see, okay, nice, Shaswati. So as far as a few ICERs are also concerned, So the Indian Institute of Science Education Research, again, government, central government institutes, these offer PhDs directly to people who have completed their graduation. So as far as IISER Pune is concerned, if let's say I've just finished my graduation and I want to pursue PhD, I can directly go to IISER Pune, enroll for a PhD, and they have the eligibility criteria that uh, one should have completed architecture, so you can fit into that eligibility criteria as well. And the degree that you will get, or the PhD that you will get, will be under the Department of Humanities in this. So there are IISERs in India who directly offer PhD after your graduation. So in case if there are students who are very sure about getting into teaching and want to get into teaching, so you can try and apply for it as well. Now, okay. So that is it from our end for today. In the next session of What After Gate, we will discuss about the interviews for SPAs, and also suggestions from you guys who are most welcome as to what topic would you like us to cover for the next session. And we are also open to questions now. So you all can type your questions in the chat box, or you all may just unmute and ask one by one. Little bit, not very clear.
Now I'm audible.
Yes, yes, it's better.
Only that IISERs is giving the integrated course, like after your B.Arch, you can directly go to PhD and comes under humanities department.
As of now, yes, there are other institutes that are supposed to do it. It's in the pipeline, not yet happened. On ground, as of today, IISER is offering it.
Okay, if I'm under the humanities department, but I can still teach for architecture too. Good.
Yes. So if you check their eligibility criteria also, right? So the candidate should have completed graduation in engineering or 5-year course of BR, and so on and so forth, and a few more courses they've written. So that way you will be eligible. And yes, so most of these, let's say NITs and everything that we discussed, the CCMT process also will begin roughly around in June. This is April today, so you have another 2-3 months in hand to do your research really well as to what is your liking, understand about yourself, which course you want to take up. So you have a good amount of time. So please don't waste it and work upon it. Okay, so let us just take a few questions. If one has to choose between planning courses at IIT Roorkee and Kharagpur, what is your say? So, Sukriti, it both of them are a few students from Sorry, there was a network issue at my end, so I've just lost all the questions. Can you please retype? Really sorry. Just okay, but wanted some clarification regarding difference between urban regional planning, urban planning, city planning. Okay, so urban and regional planning now, for as far as when the region comes into picture, it could be, for example, let's take your whole entire NCR region. So when you're planning for the NCR region, it will be a part of your regional planning. Whereas when you're planning only for, let's say, a smaller area, or let's say the city of Delhi, or any region even smaller than that, that would be more of your city or urban planning. I hope that gives you a better idea, Bitim, as to the difference. It's more or less the scale of the project or the scale of working.
Ma'am,
Yes.
so there are two processes, right? COAP and CCMT. Can you give an estimated date of when it is going to start?
Tentatively, CCMT will somewhere tentatively start in your June, towards June or something. Okay. And COAP, I think, has already started. I will just check and let you know. You can also check on their website.
Yes. So when I was looking into IIT Roorkee, the application portal was not working from my side.
Okay.
There has been an issue, but IIT Kharagpur has a clear application procedure, but
Yes.
IIT Roorkee does not have that.
So see, all the IITs have their own separate process, right? So what you need to do is keep on checking their websites as well. Because like how for NITs, you go through the CCMT process and it's done, right? So that way will not work for IITs. So you will have to keep on checking as well. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Shab, foreign universities don't accept GATE scores. You can just mention in resume. So are you asking or telling, or what is it? Okay. Okay, is there any way to know cutoff? See, sometimes IITs release the cutoff, sometimes they don't. Sharp, so it's a little bit difficult, and I feel quoting any figure or any number would be wrong on our end and would be very misleading or misguiding. So we want to avoid doing that. That is why we've not mentioned it. Okay, no, you, ma'am, could you NIT Ranchi, BIT Ranchi? Okay, we'll have another session maybe for bits as well. SPA Vijayawada entrance exam for direct admission, how I'm supposed to prepare and where can I get sample paper for it? Well, it's a very easy questions they ask. Don't get so stressed about it. All your graduation related questions and whatever course you're applying for, no, what you can do is, let's say, for example, you're applying for urban design, Sheetal. So go to their website, go through the syllabus and course curriculum. You'll get a much better idea as well. Okay. Sarina, can you arrange a talk of students alumni? Yes, we have already started with it. We've already conducted a session about a discussion session with alumni from SPA Delhi, our own past students of ExamAssure who are currently studying at SPA Delhi. So we had conducted a session. Likewise, we will be conducting for IITs as well. So stay tuned. What is the gate cutoff for IIT Madras and IIT Delhi for CPM? As far as IIT Delhi is concerned, it always has a high cutoff. That is what we know. But they've not released the exact figure. So yeah, we need to wait.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, for SPA Vijayawada, can I apply for architecture conservation from architecture department and environmental planning and management from planning department? Can I apply for both?
Or have they mentioned anything that you can apply only for one course?
No, they have mentioned that you can apply for any number of PG programs, but I want to ask that can I apply for both the courses from different sections?
Yes, not a problem.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you tell about the job opportunities with a GATE score?
So like I mentioned earlier, for private sector jobs and GATE score, there is not much of correlation. But as far as a government job is concerned, depending upon which PSU or government sector has an opening or vacancy, they will put out the advertisement and have the recruitment process. So it is not that every year there is a fixed set of seats that they fill up, or any PSU, for example. So it depends entirely on the vacancy. For example, like I said, in 2017 or 18, Airport Authority of India directly had some openings and recruited people only on the basis of their GATE score. So that has not happened again after 2018, right? For another 2, 3, 4 years. So it varies according to the PSUs. So that is one thing. And yes, I hope that answers your question.
Is there any
Yes, ma'am.
guidelines? Is there any guidelines for SPA, Vijayawada and Delhi for their portfolio, like how many pages? Or, generally they say within this much you have to submit or show it in the interview. So how many pages and how many projects you should keep? That detail can I get?
So they've not mentioned any specific number of pages as much as I know. And as far as projects, choose the best ones. I think Shashwat, you've also attended the portfolio workshop, right?
Yeah, but the other like SEP universities and all has very specific saying A4 landscape, 10 pages, 15 pages. So what is like a required amount, like 20, 25 pages is fine and A3 is fine, something like that. I just wanted to know that.
No, see, there is no set criteria. A3 would be ideal primarily. And secondly, giving your best work. So probably it could be just 10 pages, but the best of your projects, it should do the work. Or you give 100 pages and average work still will not help, right? So select your best work and put it across. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Sarvesh.
Ma'am, is there any compulsion that the thesis project should be given differently and the other work should be given differently? Like I had a friend in SPA Delhi. So she sent me her means portfolio. So they were both different. Like the thesis work was like of 84 pages something, which was A4 sheets compilation, and A3 sheets were different of another academic works.
There's nothing of that sort. There's SPA or Delhi doesn't specify, that you have to bring everything separately. Yes, they had mentioned while submitting, you had to submit in the online application. But as far as your interview is concerned, when you take your portfolio, it's more about how you explain, right? And just imagine you have a 10-minute interview. Is it practically possible to flip through all the 84 pages? No, right?
No, ma'am. Yes, no.
That is where you use your instincts and take a call. Okay.
Okay. And ma'am, also I seen SPA Vijayawada's that the form is released, but I'm not getting the exact link where the form should be filled. So if anyone knows over here, it will be so that they can share. It will be a great help
Okay. If
for me.
what you can do, Sarvesh, just contact the ExamAssure number, or else
Ma'am, I tried. I'm
it's
continuously trying every day, but there is no response from their side.
okay. Or if anybody is willing to help Sarvesh right now while I take up other questions, can just share the link in the chat box as well. That would be great help. Or
But it's actually not a link type. we have to actually take the printout of the form, and you have to physically write or physically type in that. And then the supporting documents such as the 10th, 12th, your degree, consolidated degree, all that. If you have not completed your degree, then provisional degree, whatever is there. And then if you have a community like BC, OBC, non-creamy layer, you have to have that attachment after 2022. So do check that it's there. So that 5 pages you have to print out, you have to take, and you have to submit as a postal, through our postal. So you have to give 2 passport size photos and all. It is there in the SPAV's website. Along with that, you have even the examinations, the syllabus also. It's
Dates.
almost like gate syllabus only. For the architecture side, more of the architecture questions are more. For the planning side, you would be focusing more on planning. So this is kind of the procedure which I knew. So
Okay, ma'am.
So
Okay,
that
so
is
I
correct.
seen
You
that
have to
one.
courier your documents and everything.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
go through the website, read it once, okay, and that
Okay.
should do the work. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
Devashish, we will try and conduct one separate class only related to PhD and JRF and PMRF. No problem for that. Partho, can you tell briefly about Jadavpur University and process of admission and intake? Okay, Jadavpur University, as far as the educational quality or the kind of courses that they conduct are really good and very helpful in terms of if you want to even pursue your own practice later on. As far as the admission process, I'm not sure if it has started yet, but I will check and let you know. Okay. Sukriti, job opportunities, postmaster. So yes, Sukriti, we've been conducting sessions with different alumni. So we've done one with SPA Delhi. Now we will be conducting a few with IITs, different IIT alumni. So you can attend that, and also we would be more than happy to take up your questions there. Okay. Anyone else? Any doubts or any clarification with respect to your NITs and everything? And I hope you've taken screenshots as well of the different cutoffs for your various courses. If not, the same will also be shared with you, so don't worry. Okay. So do we have any more questions, or can we call it a day? Okay, I've got 33 marks in gate activism. Where can I apply for urban planning? I don't know, OBC CAT. So this 33 is your gate score, right? Or 33 marks, okay. So Akshay, I've just shared Akshay, if I'm not wrong, okay. See, we have discussed about, various urban planning courses offered by NITs and so on. So you can just have a look at that as well. Just a minute. So yeah, you have your NIT, Calicut, Jaipur, Nagpur, Surat, Manit, Bhopal as well. That's offering courses in urban planning. Once the CCMT process begins, you can try and apply through that as well. Go through it, and since, like I said earlier, you have time till June. If there must be some of you who still don't have clarity as to if I should choose landscape, if I should go for conservation or urban planning or urban design, you have time. Do your research and go where your liking is. Okay. Query regarding admission process for SPA Bhopal and Vijayawada. Will have to wait for CCMT portal to start. One has to opt for admission through CCMT. Yes, Bitam. So if you want to opt for the process through CCMT, then you'll have to wait. But before that, now before the CCMT process begins, like now we know SPA Vijayawada has already started. SPA Bhopal will also release there's soon the admission process soon, hopefully. So you can apply through that as well, the direct admission process. You can apply and keep through that. And once the CCMT process begins, you apply through the CCMT process as well. Because what happens is, now let's say, for example, Bitum, you have cleared GATE, okay? And you apply through direct admission to SPA. Now, if you are applying through direct admission to SPA Bhopal or SPA Vijayawada, let's say. So, just a second. So, let's say from direct admission, you go to SPA Bhopal or Vijayawada. So, in this case, there will be no stipend. Even if you have qualified GATE Bitum, you will not get the 12,400 stipend if you go through direct admission. But if you go through CCMT to any of these two, the stipend that is there, you will get the stipend. Is that clear, Bitter? So what we would suggest is, now as the direct admission process starts, you can apply through it and keep. And once the CCMT process starts, you can apply through the CCMT process also. So let's say if you've gotten through direct admission as well as you get through CCMT. So this seat that you had got from direct admission, you can leave this seat and proceed with the CCMT seat. So that way it will be beneficial for you to get the stipend. Okay, I hope that answers your query, Bitim. Yes. What to opt for at 634 score and 144 AIR. So Yuvraj, it is clearly your choice what your liking is. So I think me giving any answer would not be correct, because it has to be as per your liking. It's a 2-year course, right? You have to sustain through 2 years. So you do your research as to what you like, which course you like. And I would say it's a good score. 144 is a good AIR. So you have a lot many options available for you to choose from. Okay, I hope that answers or helps you, Yuvraj. Okay, Malti. If one take admission 23 and complete 1 year and then give GATE 24, so we can change our college for last year. Depends upon the institute, Malti. And I don't think it is, it works that way. IIT Kharagpur, Roorkee, SP Bhopal, better for urban planning. So if you see, SPAs are more from the design or planning perspective driven, whereas if you see IITs are more from your technically driven institutes. So both of them, of course, have their own benefits, IITs as well as SPAs. And as far as planning is concerned, SPA, I think Delhi is the most preferred one by everybody. And as far as IITs are concerned, IIT Kharagpur is more preferred one for urban planning among the IITs. Yes, your GATE score is valid for a period of 3 years. So if you've given it in 2023 GATE and you've qualified, it's valid for the next 3 years up to 2026. Okay. How to apply for stipend, that the institute will tell you. Roughly the average salary, if I may say so, is between 6 to 8 lakhs per annum CTC for after doing masters. Okay. So Devashish, I don't think NET exam is there with respect to architecture. It's through GATE only that works mostly. Okay, so I hope I've answered most of your questions. Okay, do we have any more questions, or we can, any scholarship available as in Shaswati? For what?
Degree, is there anything that you can apply for?
No, I didn't get your question, sorry.
Is there any scholarship available if you pass GATE and you can apply it so that your M.Arch fees, they can detect something like that? Something is there?
A stipend, no. So if you qualified GATE, right, and if you get into these IITs or NITs, let's say, so they give you the stipend, like I mentioned earlier, right, 12,400 per month. So there will be no
Okay.
waiver on the admission fee or anything, but you'll get a monthly stipend of 12,400. Okay. Okay, so the IIT cutoffs are not released every year, Abhishek, like I mentioned earlier. So giving you any figure is misguiding from our end, so we are not going to do that. Okay. But what I can do for you is get you in touch with some ExamAssure students who are studying at IIT. You can get in touch with them and they'll be more than happy to help. Okay. Yes, we'll be sharing important parts from the today's presentation. So I hope that is helpful for all of you as well. Okay, so I think we can call it a day. In case if anybody has any more questions, you all can give us a call or message any of the group admins if you all are in the WhatsApp groups. Yes. Yuvraj, I didn't get your question. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.